We played for like 45 more minutes after stream.
Oh, you guys just, after the cameras were off, you guys kept going?
Yeah. And in those 45 minutes, I made a flush and I think I flopped 2 sets and I got all the money back and I won. I ended up a small winner. So from like 32K down to small winner.
I mean, after last week...
we missed an episode, right? I almost died.
Okay, great point. Yeah, we've been doing this for now 39 weeks. We've never missed an episode.
Yeah, that's not bad.
What would you like to say to the fans?
I'm sorry.
What happened, dude?
I lost 13 pounds. I got stem cell injections in my knee and in my thigh and 1 IV drip. I got 3 doses of stem cells here in Austin. And they were like, you might feel some flu symptoms. You might feel like a little run down. Usually like hour 48 to 72, you'll feel a little run down. You'll just want to rest. And I'm like, okay, cool. So my mom was here at the time and we were supposed to film a podcast on like Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And the injections happened Thursday. Friday, I take my mom to the airport. And then that night, I just like lost all energy in my body. I laid down. Then the chills started. And then one of like the worst sicknesses I've had in my life, probably top 5, occurred like the next 3 nights.
Do you think it was the flu or do you think it was the injections?
The nurse guy that I was talking to, he thinks it was both. It was like he thinks I got sick at the same time as the injections. He's like, normally it's not this bad, but I didn't eat for 3 days. I pick at some stuff, but like I went from like 192 to 178.
Jesus.
So like 14 pounds.
See, I knew you weren't feeling great and we were talking about potentially just powering through and filming, but at the time, the reason that we didn't record was actually not because you weren't feeling good. It was because Brandon had the flu.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I promise you I'm not being just lazy. I was like, I wouldn't give this to my worst enemy. And yeah, don't you agree?
I think the flu went around and I think I got it.
Well, so
at the same time.
What I'm also saying is thank God we didn't record because Brandon would have showed up a little sick and then you would have gotten the flu and Brandon 100% would have been blamed for striking you with the plague.
Absolutely.
But dude, it fucked my household up too because we all watched the AFC Championship game at Brandon's house a few weeks ago. And so we're hanging out, we're watching the AFC Championship game. Brandon's fiance, Erica, was in her bedroom a little bit sick the whole time. And what ended up happening was Brandon caught the flu and then my roommate Dean caught the flu.
Oh, that's right. Dean got it too.
So the day after the AFC Championship game, everyone's a little tired. Everyone's a little run down. So we're like, hey, let's go see Marty Supreme. So we're going to see Marty Supreme.
Amazing movie.
Amazing movie.
Loved it.
We're at my apartment building and all of a sudden, like, the alarm starts going off in the building. And we're like, this is super annoying. Holy shit. Like, what's going on? And then we start to look outside and there's like water coming down off the roof. Now, we lived on the 2nd floor of our building. And there was water coming up clearly from like the 5th floor, right?
Are you going to go into another tirade about apartment insurance?
So listen to
I can't do that story again.
Still in a lawsuit against my building.
I hate that story.
I'll tell you more about it. But the water starts coming off and we're like, what the fuck is going on? And we thought like it was just ice melting off the top of the building. What happened was a pipe ruptured because evidently what happens is these buildings in Austin are not built for like extreme
winter.
Cold.
Uh-huh.
And so it got really cold. The pipes froze. And then when it gets warm again and the sun starts beating on them, they heat too fast and they expand and they just rupture.
Yeah.
So one of the fire lines ripped open and it just started dumping water. And we're like, it's on the 5th floor. It can't be that bad. Me and Dean go to the movies. Marty Supreme ends. I turn my phone on and there's a text from the maintenance guy being like, hey, I've tried to call you 4 times. Your apartment is flooding. You need to get back right now. And we're like, fuck. So we come back. There's water dripping out of the ceiling. I'll send you a video of it. it was actually pretty funny because
you got to play that video in the pod.
Dean kept leaving his laptop in the living room, and I was like cleaning up that morning. I was going to put it in his room, and I'm like, I don't need to be an asshole and like move his stuff. I'm going to leave it. So we walk back into the unit. Dean's open laptop is sitting on the counter, and there's a ruptured like vein in the ceiling
right over it,
and the water is dumping into the center of his brand new laptop. It's so bad. So things got so bad that we had to move units. They hit us up in 2 days and they were like, you guys are being forced to vacate. You can't stay here anymore. You have to move. So we signed the paperwork to move into another unit. The day that we're supposed to move, Dean gets crushed with the flu. And he gets crushed in a way that I kind of like, was like, maybe he can't be that sick. I went in his room to check on him and he was asleep and he was like, covered in sweat and just like shaking. And I go, oh, he's fucked.
Yeah.
So somehow I avoided getting this flu, but Dean got absolutely crushed. I had to do all the moving. So it took me an entire week to do the moving. What I was saying to people was like, it forced me to apply 40 hours worth of work to a problem that I did not have 40 hours for. So for the entire week, I was just like underwater, busy as fuck.
Yeah.
It sucked so bad. It sucked so bad. So the flu has ravaged our community. Mm-hmm. And
I would have rather your week than the flu, though.
Really?
Yeah.
It was that bad?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I like blazing hot and freezing cold at the same time, and there's no relief. You're freezing cold and you're burning up.
Yeah, you're sweating like crazy. There was nights where I went through like 3 to 4 pairs of clothes, like t-shirt, underwear, shorts off because I sweat. It was crazy. I've never sweat like that.
You do the like you take your hand and grab your balls and your balls are on fire.
Yeah.
And it's like a sweet relief for 2 seconds. So you cool down your nuts with your hand.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh.
Dude, yeah, this flu was no joke. I mean,
the third day or something, it was when the fever broke. So I woke up and my whole bed was like a pool of sweat. And then the fever was like kind of tame after that.
Yeah, once the sweating left, it was like at least you could sleep, because before that it wasn't
you can't
even
sleep. Every 15 minutes you're waking up.
Yeah, because you're sick and you get like a little stomach bug or something, or like a chiller fever. You get to sleep a little. You maybe watch a TV series. It was like lights off, darkness. Can't really sleep.
Every 10 minutes you're turning and you're like, oh. So there's no deep sleep.
It sounds awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not jealous of anybody that got that. I mean, somehow we went to Brandon's, like I said, for that game, and about 50% of the people just went down.
Yeah, and Erica like really quarantined herself, but I also understand it was like I was sleeping in the room. I understand.
Dude, it might be a situation where it wasn't Erica that gave it to us. I think it was just going around the Austin comedy community. And we all convened on that Sunday and just got absolutely railroaded by this thing. It was fucking terrible.
Well, in other news, the heater seems to continue.
Are you playing well? What's going on?
It's just, it keeps happening. Like I've gotten pretty stuck in sessions, and I somehow find my way out of the hole. Like this is a good example. This hand is I'm buried in this game, and I take a very aggressive route.
By the way, now having played on the Lodge live streams, I do, I'm sort of a regular at the Lodge.
Yeah, you're kind of an expert now.
I was there yesterday.
Are you going to critique my hand?
I am, and I think, look at Crypto Max with the Burberry scarf.
Gay
Burberry scarf and t-shirt. We should never criticize Crypto Max.
No, he's one of our loyal
one of our tight
listeners.
5, dude.
Thank you, Max.
That's what we should call our audience, the tight 5. The boys, dude. But yeah, let's get in there. Let's check it out.
He's got a gay aura ring too. Made me. Now I have one.
A scarecrow and a...
Okay, so mind you, Pierre has gotten aces twice already. This is the third time he's gotten aces. The Nick game is on, and we're stuck. We're stuck like close to 20K. So Pierre opens the button with a nit button.
Up against kings or queens, so
we're gonna 3-bet out of the small blind. Typically want to go a little bigger when you're out of position. So this is like a 5x raise. I could have even gone like 15 or 1600
almost every single time.
But
these guys are also very deep.
But yeah,
so this one could get
Pierre
large
just happens to
quickly.
have the absolute nuts on the button. He's supposed to be pretty wide here.
Comes in for the 4-bet.
So he's gonna go in 4-bet you
So
here.
he's 4-betting. So
T1000
now
is looking to get unstuck. You might think this is the
now
hand
this
to
kind
do
of
it,
narrows
but
the range
unfortunately
to
for
like
him, Pierre has aces again.
ace wheel cards. So like ace 2, ace 3, ace 4, ace 5 suited.
He just called it out,
Kings,
too. He said that
queens,
Pierre was the only one he
jacks.
could get even from.
He also just asked
Yeah, he
Pierre
can
if has
4-bet
a
jacks. He's probably he's
Seems
probably
like a man
flatting
willing to get in there for
tens.
this.
So it's like jacks plus. There's some. I guess there's some like queen jack suited, maybe some like ace,
man.
ace queen, ace king.
He makes the call.
So
We have over
So yeah, the
20K
ranges
or
are
just
still-
under
can we
20K
pause for
behind.
1 second? One question that I have, right, is if you have good cards and you 3-bet and somebody 4-bets you.
Yeah.
When you're playing in these games, you said it's a pretty tight range that somebody has. It's an ace and a wheel card. When I'm playing these like lower stakes games and you
It could
get
be
4-bet,
anything.
it could be anything. So how do you play against that range when you're not playing good players?
Well, yeah. I mean, you just open up the ranges of like a lot of random hands. You know, whereas like Pierre's probably not going to have like king 7 offsuit here. You know, or queen 8 suited stuff like random stuff like that. Those hands just aren't really going to 4-bet. But yeah, we're super deep here, so I decided to call pre-flop.
Let's
with
keep
9
going.
suited.
With almost 6,000 in the middle going into the flop.
Yeah, so it's a tight range. Bam.
Very clean.
So I
flop for
have
Pierre's
queens
aces.
in my like
Nothing but
my
backdoors
4-bet
going
flatting
for
range can be
T1000.
tens, jacks, queens, maybe even some kings. But
Let's see what Pierre
thinking
does
about
here.
what
He's
to
got
do.
the option.
yeah, we have nothing to do but check, and Pierre's gonna c-bet small. I think Pierre plays this hand really well.
Maybe checking there.
Yeah, so it's just a
He
classic
sets
value
down.
bet right there.
This is
1500.
yeah,
1,500 into 7K.
but he's betting this size with his full
confident
range.
4-bet
So
pots, especially-
if he had air,
especially
if he
deep
had
stacked.
ace jack, ace king, ace 4 suited, ace
T1000
deuce suited,
really
he's
thinking
betting
about
the
this.
same
He obviously
amount.
doesn't have much now, but has some chances to improve.
Beautiful
I have-
sweater, by the way.
Thanks. I have
Continue. Really looking for a club here.
All right, so you call.
yeah, I call. The queen of clubs is a little enticing because I have a lot of
Flop with jacks.
big
Yeah, he
turns.
picks up a draw now.
But,
10's pretty good for him
all
too.
right,
When
so
he
you got a
calls the
straight
4-bet,
draw
he will
here.
have 10s
Here
in
I'm
his
just
range,
hoping it goes
possibly
check
queens as
check and
well.
then I can bomb
Pierre's
river
definitely
and
aware of that.
represent a big hand. And Pierre knows I have like tens and queens in my range,
Ooh,
Wait,
so he
option
pot
killer.
controls
Wait,
turn.
wait. Hold on. Why would he check there?
So he's saving his stack in case if you know like my 3-bet calling range out of the small, like I 3-bet the small blind, he 4-bet and I called. So I'm gonna have queens, I'm gonna have tens, I'm gonna have jacks, I'm gonna have maybe some king queen suited. So regardless of like those holdings, if he checks behind turn, he's conserving his stack if I do have a set. And if I don't have a set, he's still going to get tons of value with a river value bet. So it's slightly deceptive, like he's probably checking behind his ace 4s and ace 5 and ace deuces. Like, so I really like the check on the turn by him.
Okay, and then you get the river card of the ace of spades. What's the game plan here?
So he pot controls turn.
What do you? What's the game plan here?
So he's saving his stack in case if you know like my 3-bet calling range out of the small, like I 3-bet the small blind, he 4-bet and I called. So I'm gonna have queens, I'm gonna have tens, I'm gonna have jacks, I'm gonna have So the game plan, I have 9 high, so I have to blast if I want to win this pot. Yeah, you can play it.
So you got to represent strength. Bam.
Ooh,
But yeah, we have 9
action
high,
killer
so
for Pierre.
you can't really win the pot.
But if you're T1000 and you arrive at this spot, never really are going to have worse.
So if he somehow has like, if he has kings,
Wouldn't be shocked
if he has
decides to go for
jacks,
something here.
if he has like one of those random
Really taking
shitty
his time
aces
thinking about
that decided to
next
4
move.
bet, I can put those hands in a very difficult spot.
Anything he could bet here that makes you lay down that set of aces.
Pocket aces.
think
That's
so.
tough.
I don't either.
Yeah, this is not a hand that he's gonna be laying down.
All right, so the commentator just said, is there anything he can bet here that it would make Pierre lay down those aces? Do you...
Everybody's
There's not an
silent
amount.
No.
at the
No.
table for really the first time.
If I have a
2000 is
flush,
going for
I
it.
just win all the
He's gonna
money.
Fire a barrel out there, man.
See the
But yeah,
size.
I feel like I have to go big
9,000.
here, and I bet full pot
So he goes
pretty
full
much.
pot there, $8,600. Now Pierre's definitely not considering a fold. It's just a question of if he calls or goes all in here.
So now Pierre's, he's thinking about
It's running so bad.
Absolute silence. At
how
the
often
table.
I have,
Everyone realizes how
backdoor
big of a
flush
spot this
compared
is.
to like the chances of me having tens or queens or some kind of 2 pair.
Wow, he goes all in.
Fold.
Fold.
Yeah.
Nice.
Credit to T1000 for going
So
for it.
yeah,
but
I think Pierre
unfortunately
played that
for
hand
him,
really well. It's not like the most comfortable shove because I could have backdoored a flush, but for the most part, he's gonna. If I have queens, if I have a turn set of tens, he needs to get the max value and stack those hands.
Yeah. I mean, I think...
And a lot of people don't find that shove because they're like, oh, the backdoor flush got there. He bet $8,600. I'm scared. And they just call instead of going for max value.
Yeah, I think we were talking about bluffs and just like the story that you're trying to tell on a bluff, right? It's got to be like a story that adds up. I think the story that you're trying to tell here of like betting 8,000 into 8,000 on the river makes complete sense. It's just you're playing against aces, and against anything else representing that flush probably would have gotten it done.
It would have been real fun if he had kings.
You think you could have got him if he had kings? Lays that down.
I mean, he's definitely not. He's not shoving. I mean, he might. No, yeah, I don't think he's shoving. So he's gonna be between call and fold, and it's just gonna be a really tough spot. Unfortunately, he had aces that time. Even like if he had like a top pair, like with one of those ace 4 suited type hands, it would have been a really shitty spot, and it would have been a little more fun to see what he would have done.
Yeah.
But this time he had the absolute stones pretty much.
Yeah, it has you
besides
beat.
the flush, and yeah. So I think after this hand, I'm down like 30,000, and another like insane comeback where I grind it back at the end of the stream. I think I lost like 16K, and then we decided to play for. We played for like 45 more minutes after stream.
Oh, you guys just after the cameras were
Yeah.
off, you guys kept going?
Yeah, and in those 45 minutes, I made a flush, and I think I flopped 2 sets, and I got all the money back, and I won. I ended up a small winner. So from like 32K down to small winner. Again, just like it was just a very fortunate 45 minutes post stream that got me out of the hole. But I mean, it's yeah, the heater just kind of has kept continuing.
Just keeps giving. It's the gift that keeps on giving, man.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I've played for a lot of years, and I've been through a lot of runs. This run's been the best one I've seen, or the biggest one I've gone on. Where it's like no matter, like I've still had a few real big losing sessions, but more than not, like just during the session, I find a spot or find a way out of the trap, or I'm just up the whole time. Yeah, just something good happens almost like every session, which is, it's been amazing to witness.
Dude, you're on a heater, and I've been reading that mental game of poker book that you gave me. I was flipping through it this morning.
How is it?
It's pretty good. But one of the things that he talks about is sort of in-game analysis, and this is where I think golf and poker kind of tie in. Is he's talking about the difference between like analyzing during the game and analyzing after the game, right? And he goes, if you're playing a bad hand or you're not playing well, he goes, there's this temptation to sort of analyze how you're playing in the moment. And he says you should push that off until the end of the game. Like you should recognize like, I don't know, you should be able to pick up on game flow things and pick up on like different tendencies that you're seeing within the game. That's in the game. That's sort of like focusing. But picking up on your own shortcomings during the game and analyzing, oh man, I probably should have 3-bet there, or I should have bet lighter there. It's not really helpful until you're done. Like, do you agree?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, something that like throughout the last few years, whenever I deviate from aggression, I seem to always regret it. Like when I sit down and I notice that I'm taking passive lines, like I'm not 3-betting, I'm calling opens too much and not 3-betting and not taking 4-bet spots. Good things seem to happen when you're aggressive.
Yeah.
And kind of like vice versa, when you're passive, you're just creating situations that aren't going to be in your favor. You're forcing yourself to hit the hand. You're forcing yourself, you're backing yourself into a corner. So more just like a general overview of like, am I playing aggressive or am I on the passive side today? I try to be aware of that each session. But yeah, to your point, I'll definitely, I'll do some I'll self-analyze during sessions. I don't know if that's something I should rethink.
Here, I think I might have it here. Let me check it out. Actually, because I literally just read this, so we can break down this. So you can say true or false on this guy, all right? So here we go. He goes, ideally, evaluation only happens after the session when you can objectively look closely at how you played. This is typically more relevant online than live. However, players often review hands in the middle of a session, fixate on past hands looking for mistakes, run equity calculations, and check Hold'em Manager or Poker Tracker. Basically, they're evaluating how they are playing while they are playing. In other words, they're multitasking, and they play worse for that reason alone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to save like the deep dives for after the game.
So you can go, okay, hey, I fucked up that hand a little bit, but going in and trying to go run the deep analysis.
Overanalyzing it, because like you have another hand to play at that moment, so you need to stay present and not just get caught up on that spot. It's hard because your brain is just like, oh, I fucked up that spot, and I need to like fix it.
Have you ever heard of like the 15-foot rule in golf? There's some guys that when they hit a golf shot, they hit the shot and then they give themselves 15 feet to stop thinking about it and to kind of move on. Yeah. So you hit it, and then as soon as you leave the shot, you kind of Men in Black yourself and just keep moving.
Yeah. I was taught that by my dad. Yeah. So it's more like, as soon as once you hit the shot, you're only like the only thing that's entering your mind is your next shot. So that shot's over, and when you start walking towards the next shot, that's the only shot you're thinking of. And so that last shot is in the past, it's gone, and the only thing you're consumed with is the next shot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that sort of makes sense within poker, because if you're getting the next cards and you're really hyper fixated on trying to, beat yourself up over a mistake in the last hand, you can't fully play this hand. You can't fully pick up on the tendencies that are going on.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think when I'm playing my best, that's what's happening. So like I can lose a big pot, but then the very next hand, that's out of my mind, and I'm only focusing on this hand.
Would you consider it like flow state poker?
Yeah.
Where you're just locked in?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I mean, when I was playing on the fold a couple weeks ago.
That's also why I love the stream, like playing streams, because there's no phones and everyone, like, you're forced to lock in.
Yeah.
It's easier to find your flow state when there's zero distractions.
By the way, I called you last night to talk to you about something.
Yeah.
And
I was playing.
I know you were playing, and in the background, I swear I heard somebody say it's all in for like, were somebody taking you all in on a pot when I talked to you on the phone?
Maybe, I don't know.
It sounded like you were deciding whether or not to go in, and you still answered my phone call. You're like, hello?
Yes. Yeah, I was, yeah.
And I'm like, hey, so for tomorrow we have this going on. You're like, I really can't talk about this right now. And I'm like, well, one quick thing. Yeah. And then I talked to you for like a minute, and I swear you were getting put all in.
Yeah, someone shoved on me.
Hilarious to answer a phone call in that situation.
That was actually a pretty controversial hand because I had seven.
That's the funniest fucking thing ever.
I had 7-5 of hearts, and the board was 7-6-3 with 2 clubs, and the kid like 3-bet me pre-flop. I called. It's like 7-6-3. He check calls. The turn's a queen. He checks. I check. The river is another queen, so it's 7-6-3 queen queen. He checks. I overbet the pot, trying to get called by ace high, to make it look like I'm bluffing. So it's more of like an advanced play to bet like a polarizing size. Like I bet like 1.5x pot. Mm-hmm. But I had sevens and queens. So I had like a medium strength hand, which typically you don't want to bet huge with.
Yeah.
But this kid's like super aggro, and I thought he might call me with ace high. So I bet like 1,000 and a 600, and he says call. I hear call. The dealer says call. So I turn over my hand. And then he goes, no, I said all in. But now my hand is turned over.
And then your phone starts vibrating, and you see call from Joe Begley, and you're like, I should answer this.
And then I'm like, hello. And then they call over the guy that's running the game and tell him the situation. And then it was strange.
That's so fucking funny, because I could hear in the background a bit of like commotion going on, and you're like, it's not a good time. And I go, but one quick thing.
Yeah.
To your credit, as a friend, you still talk to me for like 45 seconds, which is an unbelievable amount of time to give someone in that situation.
Yeah. And then I made a fucking rookie mistake.
Wait, so what happened in that hand?
So like the kid that did it was also running the game. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be a good lesson for everyone out there that's listening. So the kid that comes up to make the decision is they co-run the game together. It's these two guys.
Yeah.
They're both like friends of mine, so I don't think anything shady is going on. But the dealer tells the game runner what happened. He's like, I heard call, JC heard call, I said call, he turned over his hand. But he's saying he said all in. The guy next to him said he heard all in. So the game runner is like, okay, well, the action's back on JC. I had like 600 more in my stack. But now I'm in a spot where I overbet the river and I got shoved on. So this is very unlikely that he's bluffing.
Yeah.
But he's also, I know he's a fucking maniac. The house rules that, it is a all in, and it's the decision's on me. And this is where the kid, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, all right, so it's on me. And then he goes, yeah, he's like, listen, you can just take the pot. And I'm like, wait, what? And he goes, we can just like take back our bets. Like, I don't want any like weirdness between us. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay. And this is like poker 101. When anyone offers you money back,
means they
if
lost.
they offer you a chop, if they offer you the pot, they don't fucking have it.
Yeah.
No one who has the best hand is ever going to offer you $1. And I know this. I've been around. I've never seen it in 15 years. I've never seen someone offer to chop the pot or to take the pot and they actually have a good hand.
Yeah.
They're offering you
because they were bluffing.
Because they have nothing they don't want to lose. And I know this, and it just went over my head, and I was like, oh, maybe he's genuinely being like, he's running the game, and he's playing in it too, and he's just trying to like be genuinely nice, and so like he does have the best hand, and he's just trying to like squash it. It was kind of a weird, spot because I heard call, the dealer heard call. My hand's face up.
Well, yeah, if he did have the best hand, he's still got his hand flipped over. He can give action to you.
So like if this was me, like, and if this was a public game and I was grinding it hard and like back in the day, I would immediately be like, okay, I call, like you don't have it.
Yeah.
But I got soft and I was like, I don't care. Like, let's just chop it. Let's just chop the pot. Like, you're offering me the whole pot. Like, let's just chop it up. It's fine. So like there was like 600 in the middle. We chopped it up. And then he turns over ace-9 offsuit.
Oh.
And starts laughing. And I'm like, you can't ever put your foot on the brake and poker. People will take advantage of you. I don't care how good friends you are. It's always war.
Yeah.
And you can't take it easy ever. And so like as soon as he offered me the pot, I should have just been like, you're all in, right? Okay, I call.
Yeah.
I have, sevens and queens. Like you're not gonna offer me the pot if you have a better hand. Ever. And it was a $1,500 blunder. But I was playing the game to help them out. Like the game runners are my friends. They needed an extra player to start. It's a game that I typically don't play. It's like a 5-5 blind game. So I'm there to like help out, and I just got a little soft, and instead of just taking his money, I chopped it. That was so stupid,
man. Yeah, that type of shit does happen, man. I mean, the thing is, he's representing all in and really advocating for it in that situation. I think that adds another layer to it.
It's a fancy play syndrome, but it's a very advanced play that I've been seeing it on Hustler more often, and it's usually when two professionals are battling for a pot. Whenever there's a large overbet on the river and the guy that bet huge has very few chips behind, like people that play the game for a living know, even if you don't, like recreationals know this too, it's suicide for your opponent to go all in over a huge river bet when you barely have any chips behind. Because it's like your odds are just insane. Like you can't fold. So everyone knows when, like, let's say I have 100,000 in my stack, and the river comes down, and I bet $90,000, and I leave myself with 10K behind. For my opponent to go all in would be suicide without having like the nuts or without having the best hand, because all I have to do is put in 10,000 more to win over.
So he's
200.
trying to get you to fold like the lightest and worst hands, basically.
Well, when you shove over a huge bet, it's suicide not to have it. So you're just going to have it like 99% of the time. And so a good player, even though they only have, they could be getting 10 to 1 or 15 to 1 on their call. They'll still sometimes just be like, okay, well, he's not ever doing this without having the nuts, so I'm going to fold.
So I'm going to save that.
I'm going to fold a big hand because I know that they're not doing this without having the absolute nuts.
So you're saving 10% on it.
Yeah, but
But it's like someone offering you a 10% discount. You're going, I'll take it.
But lately, like if you watch a lot of streams on Hustler, people have been doing this play, and it's considered suicide, but it's been working because a good player, Airball did it to this Asian kid, and Henry did it to Airball, and Mariano's done it, and then now I'm playing this like little 5-5 game, and this kid did the exact same play. Like I bet 1,000 on the river, I have 600 back, and he shoves. It's suicide to shove there without having it.
How much was in the pot?
Well, at that point, you put his 1,000, my 1,000, plus it's 2,600.
So the implied odds aren't as bad as 1 to 15, but it's still like 1 to 6. So it's like a suicide bet, but a little bit lighter.
Sure.
Which might even make that play work a little bit better, right?
Yeah, it's interesting that this play is gaining popularity. I can find the spots where Henry did it to Airball and made Airball fold a huge hand. Where it was like, I think it was like 30 or 40 more K to call to win, a huge 6-figure pot. And Airball ended up folding. And then Airball did it to a kid and got him to fold, he got him to fold a flush or trips or something because there's a possible full house it's a suicidal play, but it works against really good players.
Well, that's insane that this much complexity was going down during a phone call. Well, on a 5-5 game during a call. But let me ask you this.
That's why poker's beautiful. It's all relative.
This is going down while we're on the phone.
Sure.
If I don't call you, do you think this all ends up going differently and you do call?
I might have figured it out.
Sorry, you want me to Venmo you the 1,500 right now?
No, I was just being soft.
Yeah.
And I wasn't being cutthroat. Maybe because I wasn't taking the game as serious as I should have.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can't do that in poker. You'll get waxed.
One more follow-up question. You said you're playing 5-5, and those are sort of what the bigger pots look like $2,000.
Yeah.
But on the last stream, you just said it was a $36,000 pot. I couldn't help but notice that the stakes were 510. That's not that much of a difference. How is there that much money going in when it's 510?
It's not 510. It's like 510 quarter 50. So there's a lot of straddles that are going on stream to make it way bigger.
So it's auto straddles, or is it like? For
the most part, yeah. It's advertised as 510, but it's not. It plays like 25-50.
When I played Lodge with the Lodge, we were playing 1-1, and a lot of people were straddling, and it got to the point where it was like, it felt like almost auto straddling, right?
Yeah.
But not that much, like 2 or 3 hands in a row. And Skull Mike was like, "Oh yeah, you're the straddle for 5 on this one." And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm not doing that." Is that okay to just be like, "Fuck you"? No, I'm not.
If everyone's doing the 5, it's kind of pussy not to.
Okay. Well, I had already lost.
Was everyone doing the 5?
It wasn't everyone. It was just pretty regularly, and I'd already lost $500. So
you were not in the mood.
Yeah.
To put out dead money.
Well, did you see what happened? We've already gone over this, but I did go down 600, and then Nadav bought me back in, and then I made a massive comeback because I'm one of the greatest poker players of all time.
You are. Of our generation.
Yeah, and personally, I really think it's just due to good coaching and good practice.
Are you going to quit comedy and pursue poker now?
Probably. I think it's a good move. Comedy's hard, man.
Yeah.
Poker's easy. You guys have it really easy, and
you just sit down and you win money.
You do. You sit down and you win money, and you sit down for you just sit in a fucking chair for 6 or 8 hours at a time and think.
Yeah. It's easy.
Lazy guy, dude. Lazy fucking guy. Oh yeah, time for the write-in questions. Let's
questions.
Do it. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Oh boy.
Yo, this is Jordan from the great state of the Swamp Puppies, Florida. I am Florida. 6 Millers in and wanted to say hi and ask a question. We wanted to say hello too. Do you think Omaha is more profitable than Hold'em in today's era due to the rise in education and Hold'em content? By the way, crazy that this guy brought this up because I was going to ask you the exact same thing. It seems like competency is higher in Hold'em than most other poker games. Love the pod and love getting to see into the mind of a high stakes pro. Keep it up, boys. Joe, I think you're funny and a boss, brother. Thank you, brother. JT.
He's lying.
You're just him. Brandon, you don't get any love or shout out.
It's okay.
Is JT me?
Yeah, dude. JT,
Nice.
John Christian Templeton. Would love to play with y'all one day. We'd love to play with you, man. JC, take it away, baby.
Justin Timberlake. So
Bow, 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 now. Oh, that's Backstreet Boys.
So yeah, this is a good question. This is it all depends on the player pool, right? So I noticed when I was like 23, 24, I wasn't like playing full time yet, but I noticed that all the action players, I was in Sarasota, all the action players were gravitating towards the PLO table, the Omaha table. And the Hold'em game was like drying up. The action wasn't that great. And like all the gamblers wanted to play PLO. So I immediately just followed. You need to follow the action. And so that will change depending on your location, what state you're playing in. You just need to follow the action. And so I followed it to the PLO table. I didn't know how to play PLO, and I just played thousands of hours until I figured it out. And I played pretty much exclusively PLO for like 5 years. And then when I moved to Texas, I was playing private PLO games. I found PLO games and the action was good. And then I got kicked out of them because
you started crushing.
Winning. Yeah, I was winning a little too consistently, and then so they kicked me out, but they liked me, so they invited me back, and then I won a little more, and then they kicked me out again. And so I started going back to the public rooms and looking for action and looking for bigger action. And I noticed that the bigger action was Hold'em. And I was like, okay, well, you just follow the action. And that's kind of when I
switched back.
Yeah, I had to learn Hold'em again. And then I noticed that there's tons of bigger Hold'em action in Texas, and particularly in Austin. Houston is known for PLO. So if you live in Houston and you want to play poker for a living, you better play PLO, because you're not going to find big Hold'em games. You're going to find big PLO games. So it depends on where you're at, and you just have to follow the action players, the guys that are, wealthier, that are splashing around more. And if that's Hold'em, play Hold'em. If it's PLO, play PLO.
So when it comes to learning PLO, I actually saw this online. There was a guy that was talking about how he's been trying to play professionally for a while, and he's just had his first couple of profitable years. And one of the pieces of advice that he gave was learn PLO. Yeah. Because everyone knows that your mom knows how to play Texas Hold'em, Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer his question, there is Hold'em is more solved, and it's a higher studied game. And so, you could, I think, being really proficient at PLO is a very lucrative skill if you're going to play poker for a living. I've suggested it to all the other grinders and friends that I've made along the way. You need PLO in your arsenal, because you never know when you're going to be in a game. It could be Hold'em, and then let's say the action player, the guy that everyone's there to play with, or the two guys that everyone's there to play with, they say, hey, I want to play PLO. I want to stop. I don't want to play Hold'em anymore. Let's change the game to PLO. If you don't have that in your arsenal, you're just punting so much money. Just learn PLO and be proficient at it, to where if the game ever changes, or you see a good PLO game, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Joe Stapleton last weekend, and we went up to the lodge, and he was letting me sweat all his hands. But he played this private. What's the word for a private game that's going on at a public club?
Private game.
Okay, so it's just a private game at the lodge.
Was it Hold'em?
No, but get this. So we sit down and he's playing this private game, and the way that they were doing it was like every 3-4 hands, they'd switch the game. So you play a few hands of PLO, then you'd play a few hands of 5-card draw, and playing a few hands of Hold'em. And it's like, dude, what's the word for when they used to like trade different? Remember before Bitcoin was on a centralized market, you could run it up on different markets because it was trading on for different prices on different things. It's not discrepancy. I can't think of the word. Arbitrage.
Okay.
It's like arbitrage because you're playing these games really fast. You're switching games really fast. If you're a guy with a baseline competence in a bunch of different games, there's a huge opportunity for arbitrage here, because if you know how to play 5-card draw at a serviceable level and you know how to play PLO at a serviceable level, but you're great at one of the other games, right? You can fucking just destroy in those games. You can play really well. And I feel like because people are switching the games.
It sounded like he was playing a round and round.
Yeah.
It's like one round of Hold'em, one round of PLO.
No, but they're playing a bunch of different games.
They play mixed.
Mixed.
Yeah, it's called mixed games.
I mean, dude, so if there's a table at your local card club that offers mixed, and you can get to a serviceable level at all those things, I feel like you can just dominate. And it's easier than sitting down at a Hold'em player table and playing 5-10 and trying to fucking
I got really lucky
against really good guys.
I got really lucky when I was younger, and I made a final table in dealer's choice at a WSOP.
Really?
In the summer, yeah.
Dealer's choice. So the dealer just shuffles.
19 different games. I didn't know like 2 or 3 of the games. Do we have time for one more question, or are we done? Okay. Hello from Vancouver. My name is Logan, and I'm curious your thoughts on how to assess whether a game is worth taking a shot in, because it's really soft, but it's also really large in comparison to my bankroll. There must be some balance to figure out what percentage of my bankroll is worth risking based on how soft the game is, but I'm having a hard time squaring it on my own. Okay.
Really great question.
Yeah, great question. Because I have these issues, and I go through these spots, and I've consulted some mentors in this regard. So I would say it depends on, do you have a consistent stake that you play and that you beat the piss out of? So like if you're if you have like a 1-2 game that you consistently win at, that you have a seat in, that you have as like a go-to, and it's consistent, so that's your base, and like you can kind of roughly estimate like how much you're gonna make, weekly, monthly, yearly. So with like that baseline, you can have a better understanding of like shot taking, of what you can afford to shot take. And typically you want to, when you're shot taking, like a good shot take would be risking, I would say, 20-30% of your entire bankroll on one game. Curious thoughts on how to assess whether the game is worth taking a shot in. I mean, like how big are the action players? How, like,
so 30-40%, that's just as an outsider, that seems so high, because your odds of winning are great, but you could get kicked in the teeth by variance, and then you want
the game to be really good. You want there to be like, okay, for instance, I was playing a high stakes stream a few months ago, and I was playing with Tesla, and I brought I think I brought like 160K or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get the opportunity to play high stakes with Tesla very often.
Yes.
These are very, very rare spots. And after like a couple hours, I put my entire roll on the table. Not my entire bankroll, but the entire roll I brought. I was like this is a rare opportunity. I'm going to put as many chips as I can on the table and take this shot. If I lose, it would suck. But it's not the end of the world, and this is a good spot. Like, this is a great spot.
Yes.
So if you're I would say if you're in a game, you find yourself in a game with certain players that like you never really ever get to play with, and they're some of the best action you've ever seen, you need to be willing to kind of die on that sword. So, I mean, even up to 50%.
Okay. So
of your roll.
When I played on the lodge the other night, I played with $600, and you told me on the way there on the phone to break it into 3 bullets. So 3 $200 buy-ins.
Sure.
So let's say you're playing with 30% of your roll. Do you break that into 3 10% buy-ins, or do you just throw it all on the table?
It depends on like the action players that you're there to play with. Did they double up, or did they add on to their stack? You need to be paying attention to what they're playing in front with. So like if I bring 100K to a game and the action player is sitting there with like 20K, there's no point of me putting the 100K on. You just kind of want to match the stack of the bigger action players, so that you have the opportunity to get involved where they're going to be putting it in lighter than you, and so you're gonna have an advantage, and so you want to get max value from your hands, so you want to kind of match their stack. If that action player all of a sudden has 100K in front of them, I'm most likely going to put the entire 100 that I brought.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a risk that
it's also, I don't know what stakes you're playing, Logan, but it's also, I would say, way more common to take bigger shots when you're coming up. So the importance of, once you have like an established larger bankroll and you're playing more comfortably, like it's way more important to be on the conservative side and to stay far away from going broke. But if you're coming up and you're playing, let's say you're playing 1-2 or 2-5 or 5-10, and you're playing with like a 5K, like a 5-figure bankroll, like 10, 20K, I don't know your situation, but in those spots, like you need to be, I would say it's fine to take more risk. Because you can always just go back to grinding, 1-2 and building it back up. So I would be willing to take way more risk when the game is good, and you have to use discernment and not just if you're tilted that night and you're like, okay, the game's good enough, and you put your whole bankroll, that's reckless and not a good spot to light your roll on fire. But if the game is amazing and you're working your way up, it's sometimes you gotta put your life on the line and be willing to die.
Just swing hard.
Yeah.
I guess the key question though is, how do you analyze when you should go in and when you shouldn't? Like, is there a specific thing that you look for in players, like having played with them
watching the
stakes?
action, like when you watch Tesla and it's like he's cold calling 3 bets and 4 bets with 10-8 off or 10, like, okay, this guy's playing any 2 cards for large amounts of money. Like, you need to be willing to fucking gamble. Like these kind of players don't come around often, and your risk tolerance needs to skyrocket when you get an opportunity to play with huge action players.
Kill the whale, get the blubber, baby.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Cool. Anything
guys,
else?
What a fucking heater. No, let's do it. Bam.
All right.
Hell yeah, yeehaw.
See ya.